Hello and welcome back to my Let's Challenge of Final Fantasy XIII. In the last episode, we were continuing to make our way through the Palamecia here on chapter 9, and we actually broke out, and right at the end of the last episode, Saz and Vinyl broke out of their captive chamber just over here, and now we're ready to play with these guys once more and essentially find our way out and actually solve the issues. You know, do what we can to actually catch up with the others and actually, rather than be saved, actually save them, which would actually be rather cool. Anyway, so Cristeria, I did do a bit of work. Saz got Scourge and Infire and Boon and Jeopardize and a few other things. Vanille got Dispel on her Sab as well, so we had a fair amount of stuff to do there. Now, what do we want? We want these primarily. We want to start in Tide Turner because Tide Turner is such an awesome paradigm in this position. So, we have some new enemies. These are Flamborgs, I believe. And are a bit of a pain, if we're honest. As you can see, we can actually take a decent amount of health from these guys. What are these guys weak to? So, Flanators are fine, just to devastating physical attacks. And they are pretty weak as well, and you've got to remember obviously that Flanators obviously want to heal their friends. It seems that the Flamborgs aren't so keen on healing, which is fine by me. So we meet our first Flamborg. There we go, we get Stagger, lovely. And beautiful, so down he goes. So, now that we take out one of those, this section is much shorter than the others. As Vanille will say, this is the door we need to take. Another Flamborg for us. So there we go, we get Stagger nice and early. What are these guys weak to? So weak to water, immune to electric. Okay, so obviously the Flamborg, the name comes from just as a portmanteau of Flan, being the sort of the genus of the type of enemies that we face. And then we've also got Cyborg, so it's just a combination of those two words. That looked like quite preemptive to me, and indeed it was. Lovely. Who's actually staggered? So the Flamborg is staggered as well as this Flanator. So we want to actually do our utmost to take him out. Good. We can use a Scourge there just to do as much damage as possible, and then we'll go back to these. These guys do quite a bit of damage, so we do actually need to be slightly... Yeah, pacifying shock is what we need to be worried for. Thankfully, obviously the Flanators can't heal themselves, which is really helpful. So as long as it's healing someone, then it's obviously not attacking us, and therefore it's nowhere near as Nowhere near as much of a threat. These enemies are quite fun to battle. So obviously we could be end watering here, but there's really no need when the battles are this short. So we'll complete that one. Is there an item for us? Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. I do love this sort of jazzy music that is sort of Saz's theme throughout the game. I do love it. Okay, so a couple of flamborgs here. What are we? So we now know everything about them. That's the important thing. Beautiful. So we get a nice, very quick stagger there. Obviously, Vanille has the End Water on, which not only is boosting, obviously, it is actually also giving her Saboteur spells water influence, but also improves the power of all of her water and water spells as well. So it just does an excellent job of making her even better at taking out these flan. So that is that. Is there actually... Yes, there is a door here which we need to open for an item, I think. I would assume it's for an item. Rarely get battles for the point of battles in this game. Ah, okay, so we're going to need to be a bit more careful here. Haste is going to be important. So, Flaniter. It seems really easy to interrupt the Flaniters, which is really helpful. We can actually... Ah, come on, Vanille, I need you. Ouch. Heal me, heal me, heal me. Oh, damn, that's bad. Am I dead? No, I'm not. Okay. No, items. Phoenix now. Vanille. Items. Potion. Oh, I lived on 8, I think I did. I could very much use some healing. I should have gone to Symbiosis here. Damn. Okay, changed on you.
Thanks, Vanille.
These guys are not friendly. See, the annoying thing for Vanille is obviously Vanille only has she only has 3 slots, which means she can't do 2 Curas in a row, which is really annoying. Can I just say how awesome it is that Saz's pistols turn into can be joined together and turned into a gun? I think that's just like super cool. You can see the sort of the difficulty of the battle like this is just that you know, we don't have any strong defensive paradigms with these two, just because you don't have a sentinel. So you've just got to hope that the amount of healing that you can provide through Vanille is actually greater than the amount of damage you're taking. It's the only way of surviving, and we got very lucky there. I will take it. I will certainly take it as we get a Royal Armlet, which physical and magical resistance by 5%. That's not bad. So anyway, we zip around here, we get another item, and then I think we're done for this first little section. It's a very brief little section we have here.
Code purple. I repeat, code purple. Security breach. All units on alert. Code purple.
Looks like we ain't the only ones cleaning house. Could be Lucy.
Could be fun. Come on, let's hurry.
Let's go get rescued.
No, not this time. For once in my life, I am going to save her.
All right, now you're talking. Let's go.
Code purple. I repeat, code purple. Security breach. All units on alert. Code purple.
All these colors. What's it mean?
Means we're doing our job. Making a lot of Psychon guys nervous.
Who are they fighting?
And you.
So we're back here with our team from before. We need to set up. Debating whether strategic warfare is the best to start off with or not. Like I said, I was trying to actually change this. Okay. We've got blindside. Yeah, we'll get the roll level. Roll levels are very helpful. Overwhelm. Nothing there. Okay, so now Sentinel did give you curse. Yes, we did. Good. Actually, we can't actually afford that. So there we go. Okay, cool. So I was saying, rather than strategic warfare, we really want diversity. Do we think? No, I think we're taking. Now, we'll handle it. I reckon we can handle with diversity. But if we are using diversity, then we don't want to start in diversity. Instead, we want to start in smart bomb as usual. Ah, yes. So, this little area, essentially, what's it called? I'm sure we'll have a room name eventually. So essentially, the way this room works is... there are obviously these rings of enemies. This is an interesting little area, essentially, like I said, yeah, so there's these sort of rings of enemies, and so annoyingly, because we, well, good, nice damage there, okay. So now, we need to get to diversity. Then down to attack. I'm going to need you to provoke more ones than there. Provoke is annoying in that sense. In that, you know, you obviously have a very limited number of enemies that actually get provoked, successfully provoked at a time. These 3 Viking fights are probably quite easily the hardest battles in this area. So we'll be swapping between Delta Attack now and Diversity, I think. Diversity is going to be important for us. Alright, launch. Nice. Keep it going. Come on, damage, damage, damage. Launch, good. Are you weak to air as well? No, you're not. So why are you casting arrow, Pope? That's what I want to know. Damage. So the thing you don't want to do here is sort of spread out the sort of the attack, as it were. Oh shoot! Summon. This is less a true reason to summon, and more essentially, I was in a hell of a lot of trouble and needed to summon. The nice thing, obviously, about summoning is that essentially I am completely immune to damage, pretty much. Odin will soak up all the hits for me. And I believe we should essentially get back. So essentially, yeah, so we want to essentially let it get all the way as close to the bottom as possible before you go into Gestalt mode. So we should finish off this one. Yes, there we go, good. If we could get this guy staggered, that would be amazing. It doesn't look like we are. So that won't have done a lot of damage, but
Until next time.
it wasn't needed to, essentially. Reason we did that is because it brings back our entire team. That's what's important. Everyone's back being alive. These battles, I think we are going to need a sin. Launch. I want to see launch. Okay, we're nicely got the health now. Yeah, we're not going to get the smite, unfortunately. Wow, that did really no damage as well. See, this is when things get difficult, because now he's suffered one stagger, he's now going to go into wanting to use Thermal Discharge a lot more. And obviously Thermal Discharge does a lot of damage. Even to a fully defensive. That was not what I meant. Meant it? It's not what I intended. Definitely hit the wrongs. Thankfully we did get slow on. I mean, if we were going to do that, then I guess that's the important thing. Ah, no. Nothing. I suppose the most annoying thing about this sort of section is that you have the constant siren going on in the background. this battle could have gone a lot smoother, I will say. And not just the fact that I needed to summon just to stay alive. Okay, there we go. So. Good. So okay, so there we go. Now you. Let's get this guy staggered and get this guy down. Good lord. Are you weak to curse? You can be cursed. Okay, so that's good. That means I can go to this again. Don't land the curse. I don't want that landed. Good. Another small little trick that you can use just to speed up battle slightly is that if you change paradigm while your character is in the air, you don't have to go through the whole animation of you know, the little sort of coloured circles appearing around each character and you know, them changing their roles if they're in the air. So like that, you know, that little go on, scourge. Yes, wow. Nice 70-odd thousand damage there. So, 70-odd? 7,000, I should say. Okay. So, use Provoke to slow it down. We'll get Mystic Tower to get him back up to stagger pretty fast. Come on, there we go. Hope's getting hit by the background. That's annoying. And Hope is down. Still, I'm not too worried about this. We'll get stagger. And then aggression should be enough. Lovely. There we go. Good lord, that took way too long. 8 minutes. 8 minutes. So essentially, you've essentially got this sort of ring, and then you've got an inner ring with and there are obviously all sorts of battles going on around each area. You can essentially choose which ones you want to do. For the purpose of this, I will most likely be trying to do them all, although some of them do repeat. So I think there are 2 of those 3 Viking battles. So another one of those to look forward to. Come on, Hope. Heal, heal, heal. Good, good, good. It's so little health, it's ridiculous. Okay, use Cyclone. Oh, I see Cyclone. So Cyclone essentially is a Vespid soldier. So you see, we've obviously got these Vespid soldiers. Cyclone is essentially that they're warning that they're about to use Roga, which is obviously the strongest wind-type powered move. And as you can see, is a very, very dangerous attack, primarily because it obviously lifts you off your feet, and so leaves you very vulnerable in that sense. Still, all of these battles are not nice. I think it's the easiest way to put this. So every time they go Cyclone, that's when you know that it's planning on using Aeroga. And like the previous Vespid Soldier that we saw in the... we saw in... or the similar sort of enemy that we saw in the Gapra at Whitewood, essentially follows the same process of the bulbous sac on its below it essentially glows, and then as soon as it's glowing fiercely, it's then ready to use its largest attack. Now there's no bar spell to protect yourself from wind-based attacks, so in that sense we can't really help ourselves. But these guys aren't particularly strong, so if you can get enough quick hits in. These battles are a lot harder than I remember them being, but I think that is primarily because this is obviously on slow. The game speed is on slow, and therefore I'm not getting nearly as many attacks in, and the enemies are able to hit me more often than I certainly would want them to. So there we go, we take out those Vespid soldiers. Okay. But yeah, no, these are proving to be harder than I thought they would be. Which on one hand is a good thing, extra challenge, more likely I'm going to lose a life, which is obviously better for you guys, but it's not in terms of... So there's another triple Viking battle. Is there another one over there? Are there 3 triple Viking battles? Okay, so we're going to see our next new enemy, which is a Thermodon. So as you can see, our, my strategy with Vespid Soldiers is literally try and take them out as fast as possible. If we can get them as fast as possible, then hopefully we can get them before they can truly unleash Cyclone. And we succeeded there. We have failed here. So, as we continue to take out these guys, so the Thermodon is obviously very similar to the Scale Beasts and other enemies like that. Essentially, it is a heavily armoured, I believe fire-based, in this case, enemy. Very slow moving. The attacks that it does use are very, very powerful. But as soon as it is vulnerable, as it is right now, then you should be able to do quite a lot of damage in quite a short amount of time. So it looks like this guy's going to take 2 staggers, which is kind of frustrating. These sort of enemies you definitely want to be able to take out in as short a time as possible. So, but there's nothing we can do about that, unfortunately. It's this sort of situation where, like, I want this guy to be able to, I want to be able to take this guy out in, 1 stagger, but I obviously can't. Maybe if, actually we can, so 2 smites take him out, which is really good. But if it had been, say, on full speed, then I might be able to get enough attacks in that I would be taking them out in 1 stagger. Okay, so as you can see, we've made our way around this half. I think what I'll do, either way I have to do another 3 Viking battle. So this is obviously the way you want to go, but obviously that does mean you miss out on a lot of these battles. Okay. let's swap this for Bully. Because we really need the synergist here. So hopefully the synergist will actually help us protect us against these Vikings and stuff like that. We do continually seem to get this preemptive, which is rather nice. Do I actually have Quake on you? I do have Quake. Let's use it. Wow, did not actually trigger. I'd love to get one of these up in the air, so... Or two of them up in the air. So as you can see, we do have bar fire now on lightning, which should help protect against We're going to see if we can get any more smites in here, because if we can get a couple of smites, then we might just do, you know, a decent amount of damage to these guys. No luck. Okay, fine. Okay, diversity. Okay. Just go to combat clinic just to be sure. We want to get Fang able to provoke most of these guys. There we go, okay, so those are provoked, nice. So now we want to go Delta attack. I need to get away from Fang, essentially. Miss. So once we get Stagger, which we will do just here, what I might do is I might go into Bully again and just try and get as much defensive, sort of alternate between Bully and Delta attack. Because even now, like, my bar fire is going. And this Stagger is not lasting long. Okay, so we have slow at least. So slow at least on this guy, which is good. Ow, okay, so we need to definitely go to combat command. Let's get this guy now, and then this is one of these battles that sort of starts off. You know, you've obviously got to manage everything really nicely, and then as soon as you get down, like as soon as you take down the first one, it becomes a lot easier, and then you can take down the second one, and then so it should theoretically just speed up as you make your way through it. But it is an annoying little battle. This. Okay, so we get you. So now we'll go to Delta attack, get off some launches, good. So it should be pretty close to. So another bar fire, good. Now we should get some protection. Let's go divest, yeah. We can now afford to be slightly more aggressive now. Not too much more aggressive, but we can, you know, Good. Get that slow one. Slowly. Yeah. Forgot Fang would change her target. Okay, so we're going to get a stagger, and then Delta attack, bully, and Delta attack, bully, and diversity here. I think. Well, maybe not diversity actually. We actually all have good health. Like even just getting slow on the other guy is not actually that bad a thing. But I think I do need the bar fires. It's weird not having Smart Bomb, I will say. I would normally always have Smart Bomb on a team like this, because it is such a good paradigm. Yeah, aggression's risky, should have gone Delta attack. Good, okay, good. Unfortunately, once more the slow has sort of run out on this particular Viking, which is rather annoying. Okay, so... God, these battles take a while. But it is obviously a good challenge, and, you know... It's always important to have, you know, these sort of challenges within the middle of these games, because... Let's see, again, you want to put shell on me, that's awesome. Now we want to go here. Keep on launching. So this guy's down, pretty much. 1, 2, there we go. Lovely. So now, unfortunately, obviously, in the current setup, my best actual offensive paradigm here, in terms of staggering, is actually Mystic Tower. But we still have the best offensive paradigm in, like, in aggression, so... I do sometimes wonder whether Relentless Assault would actually just be better. Stagger as high as possible. Go to aggression. Okay, let's just see. Get some smites. There's one. Yes! There we go. Lovely, lovely. Whew, glad we got rid of that one in that stagger. Okay, so that's one. More of those down. We've got some infiltrators and a thermodon, followed by some vespids, and I think we'll call this episode to an end. Let's just go with Relentless. Because then it does a double function of being an excellent stagger paradigm and also being just a good damage paradigm as well. relentless photon burst. How much is that going to actually do? Completely missed because we were in the air, so that's useful. That wasn't infiltrators or raiders, oh well. Should get pretty fast stagger here, and then we'll just go to relentless assault, finish this guy off, and then be able to concentrate on the Thermodon. The Thermodon name obviously just comes from like thermal, you know, meaning relating to fire. In that sense. Ow! That does a huge amount. That does over half my health, even with protect. I don't know if it's a magic or a physical and magical combination attacks. Okay. So it does mean that shell is surely reducing some of the damage, and yet it does like still does over half. That's right. Okay, we should stagger before we can get this one off. There we go, lovely. I think slow would be an excellent thing to get on this guy. Slow, curse. So that's why we won't get double smite or something like that, unfortunately. But we do have our best com doing what she does best, which is good. For some reason, this guy hasn't regenerated his carapace yet, which is actually rather useful for us. And indeed, we're going to get stagger once more. I'm pretty sure they do regenerate. Susceptible to deprotect, deshell, and imperil. All really useful offensive ones that we can't use because we don't have Vanille on our team, unfortunately, but there we go. So we'll be able to take this guy out, and then I think we've only got one more battle before we finish the outer ring, and that's all I want to do. I just want to finish off the outer ring, and then we'll go into the inner ring in the next episode. And then we've got a very similar sort of layout where we've got like inner rings and outer rings when it comes to when we return with Saz and Vanille, I believe. So what have we got here? We've got Vespids. Just 2 Vespids, okay. So this is a good chance to be really aggressive. Two Vespids is really not too anything we should be particularly scared of. Although they do look really creepy now that I look at their faces, actually. Lovely, okay. There we go. Isn't it nice to have a battle which you can finish in, what, 5 turns, I guess? Something like that. 39 seconds. Beautiful. Not even with a preemptive. So I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Obviously, lots of sort of more tiresome battles, I guess, with this team. I think we've got one more Viking trio, which is going to obviously be a pain. But We've also got a few more interesting battles, hopefully, as well to do, and then we'll be able to move on and go into the Assassin Vanille section, where we've actually got some rather tough battles as well. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you will join me on the next.